What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Lazarus Planet Next Evolution issue number 1 one-shot. What we have seen so far is this Lazarus event is transforming not only humans but the landscape of DC. And like all of the other one-shots, this is an anthology following multiple different stories, showing us what is going to be given to us in the coming year. As we dive into Dawn of DC, we are going to see new and interesting characters as well as old characters being rejuvenated by this Lazarus event. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this first story, we are picking up with a Red Hood story. We have Red Hood who is being blasted off of a bridge and falling onto a barge. To explain how he got in this situation, we have to backtrack just a little bit. He was going after Lazarus resin, much of what he was doing when he was involved with Task Force Z. If you didn't check out Task Force Z, make sure that you do check it out. It's a relatively interesting line. But the concept is they were creating their own suicide squad using Lazarus resin to resurrect dead heroes, or villains in this case, and use them on the squad. But right now, he is tracking a canister that was smuggled out of LexCorp, and it is now making its way to Gotham, intercepting this mid-transport. But that transporter also came with his own escorts. Many escorts that he had to battle through. Laying down the hate on all of these guys, it gave the guy the opportunity to make a getaway, chasing him across the bridge. He had left him a little gift, an explosive on the bridge. Not having any time to think, he jumps off. The bridge explodes, he lands on that boat. Looking around, there is nobody to greet him. As he goes inside, he sees that they were doing something. These are also LexCorp men. Not sure what they were up to, but somebody got here before he did. This entire place has been fried and melted. Thinking maybe it was an accident, but looking around, this looks more like there was some kind of fight that went down. And then he sees it, a symbol that is burned into the wall. Not really sure what this means. He sees a leg go running around a corner. As he goes chasing after them, he finds himself face to face with somebody. Multiple individuals, going toe to toe with the young woman that is among them. He sees that she is very fast, but he knows he is stronger. If he can just get his hands on her, he may be able to take her down. This is when she leaps from the pier, and we see 3 individuals in a boat, letting Red Hood know that they are all on the same side, that it may not look like it, but they are. As they take off in the boat, we learn that their team name is the Vigil. So this will be one story that we see coming in 2023. That is what takes us to our next story. This story is about Flatline. For those that don't know who Flatline is, we saw her on Lazarus Island, mostly inside of the Robin series, the one that focused on Damian Wayne. And for those that don't know, Flatline is actually the girlfriend to Damian. But Flatline is much more than that. She's actually a crime boss here in Tokyo. She took over after she defeated Lord Deathman. But now with this Lazarus resin falling from the sky, it doesn't really seem to affect her much except for a voice. When the rain had started, she heard something calling out to her, not allowing her to sleep, not allowing her to do anything. And so now we see her following this voice. As she makes her way through, we see her come to a building, this appearing to be the place that she needs to be at. The voice telling her to go inside. As we see Flatline punch down this door, what she finds is Ra's al Ghul's bodyguard, or at least former bodyguard before Ra's al Ghul had died. He sits here waiting for her. That is because Talia al Ghul knew that Flatline would come looking. Now, Talia believes that Flatline would come looking for her because she wanted to be mentored by her, obviously having no idea that the voice is calling her to this place. But we see Yubu and Flatline, they begin to fight it out. We are also learning that the bodyguard no longer has the strength that he once did. With the Lazarus Rain, it has taken away the power that he once had, previously empowered because of the Lazarus. Now with the rain, it has taken it away. And if anybody ever questioned just how strong, how skillful Flatline is, we saw her capabilities. We saw how truly good of a fighter she was in that tournament. This is where we have 4 ninja come out. These League of Assassin individuals now having powers and abilities due to the Lazarus Rain. This is definitely more of a fight for Flatline, as we see Flatline just getting thrown around by the 4 of them. That is when she sees an urn. That is why she is here. As soon as she sees it, she knows. She goes over to it. Before anybody can reach her, she opens it up. A giant, blinding light coming out of it. This is where she sees an entire flash of her whole life. Everything that brought her to this very moment. It appears that the Lazarus Rain has gave her some kind of new ability. Death flows through her veins as life passes before her eyes. Death had called and she had answered. This is where she sees standing before her is Red al Ghul. He was the one calling out to her, letting Flatline know to make herself comfortable because they have a lot to discuss. And that is what takes us to what I think is the most interesting story in this comic. As we jump over to the astral plane, we have Amanda Waller and Deadeye, letting Amanda Waller know that he is currently under attack, and also asking where she is. His psychic range has gotten stronger. He is able to pick up that she is on Earth 3. With Amanda Waller not willing to help him out, he does ask for some advice, asking what he is going up against. He is going against Everyman, a shapeshifter. But because of the Lazarus resin, because of this rain that has been coming down, we have seen him transform into something more. But he also wants to know who sent him and why. Amanda Waller going on to say that this is Lazarus, that he needs to brace himself, calling him Archie, saying that every man's DNA is being torn apart and then it is reassembled into something new, saying that Deadeye is next. That is when a jolt of blue energy comes out of his eye and goes through his arms. This is when Deadeye in the astral plane still having this conversation with Amanda Waller while having the fight. He has figured out that Amanda Waller is the one that hired Everyman. We also learned that this is Amanda Waller's nephew. Amanda Waller going on to say that she hired Everyman to make him stronger, that she trained him too well to be killed by someone like this, that she needs him sharp, especially for what is ahead. But she says that the Lazarus Rain has nothing to do with her. It is just an added bonus, letting him know that Everyman's contract is indefinite. So she suggests going ahead and finishing him off. Also saying that it was good to see you and to say hi to your brother. And so leaving the astral plane, he finds himself in this fight with Everyman, who has essentially turned himself into what looks like Doomsday. As the two of them brawl, we see Deadeye use his new power, punching Everyman in the chest so freaking hard that it puts him down and it puts him back into his regular human form. And while Amanda Waller had said to go ahead and kill him, Deadeye isn't doing that. In fact, Deadeye, he gives him some comfort, he patches up his wounds, he gives him some water, and he sets a fire. This is just the beginning of Deadeye's story. And that will be the end of this issue. Now, there is one more story in here that we're not going to cover, It is the Red Canary story. I don't find her that interesting of a character. I don't think the story's that interesting, so I'm just not going to waste my time covering it. Now, if I do find her to be more interesting as the story progresses, as we probably will get a solo series of her, then that'll be something that we dive into at that point. All in all, I think this is probably my favorite Lazarus issue so far. And that's just because we got some Jason Todd. We got to see what he's been running around and doing, though we just did actually get to see him in a one-shot last week. But that was more for the introduction of the Vigil. We don't really know who they are, but we're about to learn exactly what they are up to. One of my favorite characters coming out of the Robin line was Flatline. It's nice to see her off doing her own thing, and now she's becoming even more connected to Damien's family. It's gonna be interesting to see if that is in fact Ra's al Ghul resurrected, or maybe this is just a ghost because she can talk to dead people. And then we have Deadeye. Now, I think this one was the most important story out of all of it, because we know Amanda Waller, she's plotting something. You know, we thought she was going to be happy, safely tucked away on Earth 3 with her makeshift Justice League. But it appears that she has gotten bored, that she is making efforts to branch out yet again, not knowing for what or what purpose this is. We are also seeing Deadeye, which is a very interesting character, because the origins of Deadeye, they are to Earth 3, but the fact that this is Amanda Waller's nephew, that throws a little bit of a twist into it. Not really sure if they are in fact family, not really sure what Earth this Deadeye even comes from. But originally Deadeye comes from Earth 3. He's the essentially Green Arrow of that Earth. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with this character, especially with these new powers that he has got. We don't really know the full extent of what he does, but it definitely makes him way more powerful than he was before. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with the Lazarus event, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is gonna get you completely caught up on everything going on with Lazarus Planet. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do any of that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.